Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to a fantastical Unit Lost vlog. Just me today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to explain why that is the case. So sit back and enjoy the Diablo 3 gameplay you can see in the background. This is my kind of wizard ult I've been messing around on. But yeah, I'll also save you from looking at my face as well because I know it's wonderful, but yeah, I'll save you the horror. So, why am I doing a vlog? Well, there's a couple of reasons. I think, first of all, I think the main thing is there is no Kiri off this week and possibly next week. It's due to some issues which he's going to try and sort out. But of course that means now the collab content we've got, I only have a certain amount of that. So I think I have maybe 2 episodes of XCOM and that's it. That means going into this week, no Civilization. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed at that, but, you know, unfortunately, sometimes there are things which get in the way, which prevent the recording of these kind of dual videos that we do. And to be honest, it is quite difficult actually setting, you know, getting 2 people together to kind of record these videos. Even though me and Kiri do work full-time on Unit Lost, Kiri does have other obligations and stuff. And as I say, he'll be indisposed this week and most likely next week. So, I mean, hopefully he can come back as soon as possible, but, you know, we'll leave that up to him. But I think what I'm going to do instead is there will be the XCOM on the channel as much as I've got. I think I've got 2. You know what, let me check. I've got, what have we got on the channel? No, I've got 1 episode, sorry, of XCOM. So that means on Tuesday there will be an XCOM episode, okay? There won't be one on Thursday, though, because, well, I need Kiri to record that. Also, Hotfix as well. Now, I did Hotfix on my own last week, which... it kind of worked, but Hotfix is a debate show, so I want somebody on there with me. So this week, I am going to try and get a guest on it. Well, as I say, Kiri won't be there, but if I can find a guest, we can have like a debate about something, and that'll be great. That'll be much better than me just talking to myself, kind of thing. Because it is pretty difficult to actually have a like like I thought last week's Hotfix kind of went down the path of. It was sort of me ranting about a couple of issues and there's nobody really to have a go at me back. Although I have been reading the comments and there's some really good comments on the actual video post, which kind of leads me to the next thing with Hotfix. What I'm going to do this week is I'm going to start diverting Hotfix comments to the forum because YouTube's okay, but you can't really have a very detailed debate on YouTube because what happens is I've noticed a couple of people will get involved in a conversation, but it quickly becomes a private conversation because after a certain number of replies, it collapses the conversation down. So nobody else can see it unless they click on the reply button. And people are lazy. They're not going to do that. So it's sort of like if I had a platform where people could discuss, and of course I do because we've got the Unit Lost forum, which is magnificent, I can just direct it all there. So what I'm going to start doing is directing all of the comments from the Hotfix videos into the forums. This will get more people into the forum as well. That's an added bonus, but also it's a much better place to discuss what's going on because you can see the conversation is going to be much better because, hell, it's a forum. Yeah, and I think like also going into this week, I'm going to try and I might do some kind of different things on the channel because I'm still here, obviously, and I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to continue to work on the channel, but it means that I won't be able to work on the stuff I do with Kiri, so I've got to kind of find things to fill that slot. There's a couple of ideas I've had. I've got a couple of like kind of one-off videos. I've been working on things like there's actually one on Diablo 3 which I think I might put out on Monday. There's a couple of other things that I've been working on as well, kind of behind the scenes. There's like an idea of this Sty Classics type of video series I can potentially do long term on the channel where I just show you games that I've really enjoyed over the years because like at the end of the day gaming's all about having fun, and sometimes I can sit there and think, you know, there isn't really anything new. Oh god, I want something to play, but really there's a lot of good games out there, and given the fact that I run a YouTube channel, that I should be able to show these games to people. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do something like that. There is also EverQuest 2 content, not EverQuest 2, Jesus Christ, EverQuest Next content, which I might do on the build I was doing on the temple. But to be frankly honest, I haven't even logged into the game in about a week because I've been busy with other stuff. I know there's quite a few different tools in the game actually now, so I might jump in and give that a little check and see what happens there. There's a couple of games I've been sent, things like a helicopter bloody simulator and stuff like that, which I may mess around in and have a look at. I don't know. The other stuff is Oh yeah, there'll be a South Park video out on the 4th of March. Now, this is a look-see. This is just me in the video because we had some issues with getting Kiri to actually be available for the recording. But it's quite a good video that I've made. I think it is. It's quite long. Shows quite a lot of the game off. But I think there's going to be a ton of South Park videos hitting on the 4th of March if anything... Well, if what I've heard turns out to be true, which I kind of believe it is, but, you know, we'll see. So at least that's kind of like a unique video, sort of. And there's other stuff like... in fact, I'll let you guys into a little secret. I am going to go back on Hotfix. No, what the hell am I even talking about? I'm going to go back on Holodeck. They begin with H. For some reason, they sort of became one. Can you tell I don't have a script or anything? Or I'm just sort of doing this on the fly. You could never tell that, can you, ladies and gentlemen? So yeah, I'm going to go back on Holodeck, and it's not going to be as Stylosa. It's just going to be as a stupid, you know, kind of like a character on there. But, you know, whatever, that'll be fun. There's also other stuff, like I've been thinking about putting together a Patreon page. I've actually worked on the page a little bit that we've got. I haven't officially announced this yet. I may do that next week, or I may decide to scrap it altogether. I'm not sure. And there are a couple of issues I've got with YouTube, especially with the finances and stuff, where YouTube is great when it's going well, but when it's not going well, it's not so great. And January is a really poor month for YouTube, and February I don't think it's going to be that much better, to be honest. So that leaves me in quite a difficult situation, to be honest, where you fall into this trap of like, do you make videos to chase views? Because at the end of the day, views are king on YouTube. The more views you get, the more money you get. Obviously, you need money to live, and you need money to run the YouTube channel. That's just fact. Or do you continue what you're doing and somehow try and weather the storm? Now, I've seen much bigger channels go on about, oh yeah, we weather the storm and all the rest of that. But that's fine. But they're probably making so much money in December, they can easily just not make any money for the next 3 months after and totally be fine. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case for Unit Lost. So I looked at some options of maybe, you know, trying to kind of financially bulk out what we're doing. So Patreon is one of these things where I think it would allow us to, if people were, you know, looking to support Unit Lost that way, it would be via a monthly tip, because obviously the amount of videos we make, it wouldn't be viable to say per video, because there's a lot of videos coming out on the channel. That might be some sort of system I could potentially use if it gets big enough to kind of help me bulk out what I'm doing, because at the moment I kind of am at the mercy of these branding deals. Now, when I say at the mercy of, I don't mean in the sense of like, oh god, I have to say, you know, put positive things and God knows what about the games in question, because, you know, we don't do that anyway. And also, we've made hot fixes and all kinds of stuff on the topic. So if you've been following the channel, you will know what we think about things like branding deals and stuff. If we can do a branding deal, and that's fine, and it is going to give us cash, so, you know, we can just sell what we like, then we don't really care. You know, we'll do that because that's going to help the channel. But obviously, I think it's becoming a bit of a thing where if I'm not getting enough of these deals, it's sort of becoming an issue for me, especially in months like January and February and whatnot, where the ad revenue is really low. I mean, the kick in the bollocks is the channel in January got more views than it got in December. Quite a bit more. Yeah, it made like... I can't actually say how much it's made because of the contract, but if I was to say it made 70% less, that would be probably an understatement. But it's quite bad. So that's just one of the things I've been thinking about. So you may see a video on the channel on either Monday or some other day in the week, which announces a Patreon campaign. Now, if, like, obviously, if I do go ahead with it, obviously I urge you to check the video out and be honest as well. I don't want people to just go, oh yeah, Unit Lost have money, because, you know, I don't want that. Because I know we've got a couple of other systems in place, like we've got a system on the forum, which I think I might tie into this Patreon style thing if I go ahead with it, where people donate to help keep the forums running. We've got things like the Twitch subscription, which I guess is another thing. We've got Unit Lost Premium as well. But the Twitch subscription, and even Twitch itself, I'm going to be totally honest and say we have suffered quite a lot through not streaming as much as we did. Like, it's surprising how much money the stream can generate over a month, especially when you look back at how much you've made in set months when you were streaming, and how much came in from the stream as compared to how much hasn't come in because we've not been streaming. But I'm sort of in a dilemma where I know if I stream, it will probably get me more cash, but I know it makes me way tired, like really tired, and then it means that the content on the YouTube channel isn't as good, and then it means that I'm in this vicious cycle of working all day. You know, I generally start work about 8:30 in the morning and go through to about, usually it's around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Then I take an hour, get something to eat, and then I would stream. But recently, what I've been doing is when I get round to about 6 o'clock, after I've had something to eat, I've actually been going out and doing exercise. So I've been going out running. I've been painting my Warhammer stuff. Doing stuff that isn't just hardcore unit lost. And I think it's made me much happier. But at the end of the day, it comes down to cash. So I'm sort of thinking, shit, I might have to start streaming again just to try and bulk that out. Which I don't know. If I have to do it, I have to do it. Because at the end of the day, I've got to make a living. So we'll see about that. And you know what? I think I'll leave it at that, guys. So I have kind of covered a few things there. In fact, I guess we can talk about Blood Bowl quickly. Very good game this week. A very good game against Northern Line. In fact, probably the best game in the league so far, which is pretty astonishing because I believe our game against, I think it was Crendor, was probably one of the better games up to that point anyway. And now we've got another one. It's magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. So, yeah, that's going pretty well. I think next week we've got Stripping as well, so we'll destroy him because he's crap. And then we'll take out Total Biscuit, I think, and then we'll beat somebody out. I think if we win all of our games, we've got a chance of getting into the playoffs because, although I think it depends on beating Stripping, and I think we need results to go for us, but we'll see what happens. It's getting rather intense towards the back end of the league season. Alright guys, so I'm going to leave it at that. Stay tuned to the channel because there will be videos every day as there always is. There will not be Evil English Empire this week. There will not be Face Off Friday this week unless I can find another YouTube channel to do it with. There will be no Kiri off this week and possibly for the next week. Streaming, I'm not sure about, but I kind of want to do it, but I don't want to destroy myself, but then there's other pressures on me which kind of force me to do it, so I don't know. And a possible Patreon campaign, if that would be a thing people would be interested in. Because I really don't want to be seen as somebody who's going out kind of begging for cash, because that is not how I operate at all. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This has been a vlog for, I guess, sort of February, I suppose. And I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.